Well, here's a great way to bond with a significant other, a good friend, or make it a hot date. Yes, I'm talking about a cooking class where you can cook up a delicious meal like great meats paired with some alcohol. Well, Chef Andy Floyd is here to tell us more. Welcome, Chef. So happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here, Claudia.
Well, it sounds like the ultimate intimate setting. Tell me about these classes you have coming up.
So I teach a lot of the couples classes, and including some of the ones you just mentioned too. But this weekend I'll be doing In Love in Paris, which is a real popular class of ours. So if you've been to Paris or anything, it's a very romantic setting. We try to bring people in, you know, so that they can come in as a couple and get to meet other couples, and that's like a really big part. Plus, it's you know, we usually try to draw in the men too, because that's, you know, I don't know if you have issues trying to get your husband to go out and do things.
It happens.
Yeah, and I know my wife does too when she tries to get me out to do things. But
oh my gosh,
what else could you do? We bring them in. If we're going to be doing something like bison and bourbon or steak and scotch, you got them hook, line, and sinker.
That is exactly right. And yes, I have been to Paris, but I didn't learn anything. So I need to come to the class. Okay, what I love about the seasoned chef is that anybody can come. It doesn't matter the skill level. You do not have to be like this great cook. Is that right?
That's correct. I mean, we take people, you know, with absolutely no skill level, and people feel intimidated at first when they come in because they're like, oh, are they going to make me cook? Are they going to make me do stuff? And yeah, we'll make you cook, but you're going to do it in a really fun, non-intimidating, friendly environment. And it's really about us having a good time together and getting, you know, cooking all this food together. I kind of run around, make sure that everybody's got everything going that they need.
Some of the couples are not arguing.
Yeah,
and,
well, I haven't had that happen so far.
I love that.
You know, so far that hasn't happened. Yeah.
So what have you brought today with you, Chef? It already smells wonderful.
So I brought a sample plate here of some of the dish that we use during steak and scotch.
Okay.
And it's a coffee and cocoa, like cocoa, rubbed steak, beef tenderloin that's been grilled, and it's paired with a bittersweet orange sauce. Okay. So you have a little bit of tanginess, and you have the bitterness from the outside rind of the orange, plus orange segments in there, and then also have some pickled red onions to go along with it. It gives a nice little crunch, a different color. And then just the concept here is that this dish is meant to be paired with the scotches that are there, because scotch brings in some different notes, some like a little bit of honey or a little bit of orange notes to it as well. And so when we have the bitterness on the outside of the steak, it's going to actually complement the whole beverage as a whole too.
So when the couples come to this class, they can also learn about pairing. What is the right drink that goes with that?
Yeah, I mean, I usually try to give a preamble at the beginning of each class to talk about you know, what are the origins of these two elements that we're talking about. Okay. So if we're talking about steak and scotch, let's talk about the beef industry in the United States. If we're talking about you know, scotch, let's talk about how scotch came about. What is it? You know, where does it come from? What does that, you know, number 15 mean on the outside of the label? What does single malt mean?
So interesting. Okay, let's make something, because this is what's been smelling wonderful throughout the morning. So what do we have here?
So basically here we're going to make tostadas, and this is just going to be one of the layers. So think of this as a big old, you know, like nacho chip.
Yeah, that's basically what
but a nice little, or a pizza, you know, kind of, you can think of it. So really you can build anything on this.
Right, okay.
And it's a really like very common snack in Mexico. They'll have this at the beginning of a meal, and it's quick to put, you know, once you have the tostadas, you can pretty much pull these out of your cupboard, and if you've got a couple other elements, you can quickly make a snack. So here we have some bison meat that's been sauteed with some onions and garlic, and added a little bit of tomato, and then we added some cumin and some ancho chili powder, and some coriander, so give it all some nice spice and flavor to it. And then over here I have a nice like puree. I also made a puree prior of black bean. Black bean with some more spices and everything else in there. So this gives us like our crunch. This gives us a little bit of our softness. This gives us yet another texture. And then on top of that, I made a jicama slaw. Which is going to bring in some acidity and some nice crunch to it as well. So you have multiple layers, which is what I love about tostadas in general, is because you get to play with all these different textures.
And it's not going to be so heavy.
Exactly. Okay. So let's try to put one of these together here.
So yes, we'll start with the black bean puree.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take that and just spread that across. And just create a nice, plus it's a nice canvas, you know, of a darker color.
Well, while you're doing that, tell me about the classes. How can people sign up, grab the hubby, grab the date, and say, let's go cook together?
So, you know, you go to our website, The Seasoned Chef, and you're going to be able to find, like, go right to the calendar. You're going to see all the different descriptions for all the classes, and then you can say, okay, just go on there and sign up. Or you can call directly to The Seasoned Chef and probably talk to Jody or one of our representatives.
And sign up.
And sign up.
And you guys have a promo code, which is COCO. You get that 20% off. So why not? Come on, guys. You've got an open house as well. I know Chef Dan loves to do open houses. They're always so much fun. October the 6th, this is a good way to come in and kind of learn a little bit more about what you guys do.
Well, it's a lot of fun, too, because oh,
no.
No, we have a casualty. We have a casualty.
That's okay. I'll eat those little pieces when they break up.
Okay. So yeah, on the October 6th, it's it's going to be a nice. It's a fun event every time because the whole staff is there, so you get to meet all the chefs.
Oh, that's
awesome. Talk to them about their different classes.
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
And you're going to also have the launch of the holiday calendar. I'm so ready for the holidays.
I know.
Halloween,
I've been working feverishly on that.
Hey, it's a good time to learn how to cook some good stuff, right?
Absolutely, and we have all kinds of specialized holiday dishes that we'll do.
Well, that tostada is calling my name.
It
Chef
is.
Andy, everyone. Make sure you join him and the rest of the crew over at the Seasoned Chef and take a cooking class or attend the open house. That's coming up on October the 6th. Get 20% off by using that promo code COCO. You can always learn more by going online. It's theseasonedchef.com.